This video, real or AI generated?
Fake.
Okay, that one's AI generated. Not a lot of giveaways unless you
I'm just good because Mount Fiji doesn't belong in this terrain.
happen to have memorized the geographical landscape around Mount Fuji and
Oh my god! I'm not real. I'm not real. Sure. This AI video is generated, the Sora review, and you're like, Elliot, what the heck is Sora? Sora is ChatGPT's like text to video prompt AI generator, and guys, it is insane. It's going to be so hard to see what is actually coming from our reality and what is just being made up of this virtual reality on the internet. This video is going to absolutely blow your mind.
all right, let's play a game real quick. Is this next video real or AI generated? Go ahead. Take your time.
Real.
So that was a real video. That was a video from a YouTube channel. Now what about
Damn, I'm fucking good.
this video? Real or AI generated?
Fake.
Okay, that one's AI generated. Not a lot of giveaways unless you
I'm just good because Mount Fiji doesn't belong in this terrain.
happen to have memorized the geographical landscape around Mount Fuji and
Oh my god! I'm not real. I'm not real. I'm not real. I'm not real. Yo!
hunted for inconsistencies. But okay, what about this one?
Fake.
And yeah, you guessed it already. This one's AI generated too. Okay, what about this one? Pay really close attention.
Real.
Did you catch it? See, no, okay, that one was real, but the fact that you thought about
I'm so good! God damn!
it. So I, for the
Where's the lottery? Where's the lottery? Someone get me the fucking lottery ticket right now. I may win a fridge. Holy shit.
last week have had full access to the newest and most advanced version of Sora, which is the AI video generation tool from OpenAI. And the results that I've gotten from it are both horrifying and inspiring at the same time. Like the last time I looked at this 9 months ago, this was a very private tool that was just unveiled.
This is a text. This is fake. Okay, so this is AI generated, and this was just like the text, the prompt was, show me a video of like a popular city in down, or like urban life in downtown Tokyo, and it came up with this video. And as you can walk, like look in the background, you can see the feet, sometimes the hands, not 100%, right? But it's the big stuff is there.
They were just starting to show its capabilities, and so we were looking at other people's prompts. Actually, basically, it was OpenAI's carefully hand-selected prompts for what they wanted to show us, and we could learn some stuff from that. But this time, I just get the controls myself. It's just an open text box. My wish is Sora's command, and that's actually kind of a lot of pressure. You can type whatever you want. But I did not take this responsibility lightly. I basically, over the past couple days, have been taking every possible angle of asking Sora to make things for me. I've asked
Hold on, I want to hear what he has to
photorealistic
say.
things. I've asked for cartoon things. I've asked for objects, people, signs,
Wow, look at this. These are all AI generated. This is what's coming.
actions,
Yo, that's me. Just a fucking bear. Smoking. Swag City.
text, still life, everything you can imagine. And I feel like I've come away with a pretty good
Not
sense
100%.
of what it's good at, what it's bad at, and what it could actually be used for today. But this is a powerful tool that's about to be in the hands of millions of people. So consider this the
Billions of people.
first ever Sora review. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Let's jump in. So first of
Okay.
all, this is the UI. On the left side, you can explore other prompts that people have recently made, and then some featured ones where I suppose OpenAI is still going to curate some of the best results to showcase what it can do. And if you hit the bookmark button on any of these, they'll show up
Yeah, it saves it in like a little bookmark folder.
in your saved tab. And what I like about these again is anything you click on, you can see obviously who made it, but you can also read exactly what they typed into the prompt box to get this result. And I'll get back to that in a second. So
An extreme close-up FPV cinematic shot, dynamic moving camera of a fluffy dandelion, backlit of soft golden light. The background is a dreamy, out-of-focus bokeh portrayal of a forest with the color hues of green to browns. The dandelion delicate seeds are poised to be carried away by the wind, rich in detail and texture. As the dandelion seeds fly off, the dandelion. Wow, holy shit.
Then underneath that, you have your library.
This tech is general people imagination. The military in this field, our privacy is an illusion. Yeah, our privacy is definitely at this point an illusion.
Of all the videos I've generated from Sora prompts, anything I've
It's been an illusion.
tagged as a favorite from my own creations, and then uploads, which is any of the files that I've uploaded to Sora for it to make videos out of. Another crazy feature that I'll get to in a second. But then lastly, you have your folders. So you can organize things that you've created into different folders, maybe for different projects or different themes or whatever, just to keep it somewhat organized. So, okay, right off the bat, Sora is a tool after all. And so this feature of being able to see what other people are typing and then the results that they create from those prompts is both for inspiration but also for education, because it is
Yeah, when you see something like this, you're like, how the hell you do that? And you go down there and it tells you how the hell he did that. And you're like, huh, let me try that, because I want to learn how the hell to do that.
really interesting reading how simple.
But what I do, before this goes further, when I see something like this, the argument starts going into my head of like, this is a bad thing, graphic design is dead, artists are dead, movies are dead, da 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 da. I don't think it's going to be the case. What I think it's going to do is create a whole new breed of artists, producers, creators, whatever we're going to call this new age thing. But you're going to get these experiences in these worlds, kind of like if you guys watched Cyberpunk 20 or Cyberpunk Edge Runners, whatever the thing on Netflix was, the anime. There's a guy in there who like created chips to give you different experiences, and it was all these different things, all tailored to the individual. I think we're going to get a lot of that, and you're going to be able to go to certain people and get specific things tailored to you in a way that we've never had before, at a speed that's never been comprehended before.
Or how detailed some of these prompts are, and then looking at what Sora generated and what it took creative liberties with to add on its own.
This looks like one of my nightmares. And then I fly from there and I go, yeah!
And then if you really like someone else's results but want to adjust it in just a slight way for your own use, there's the remix feature. So you hit that button, and then you can describe specific changes you want it to make to that video for it to then generate a new one.
I did not.
So for this one, for example, I like this shot and the house is pretty cool, but I kind of want there to be a golf course on those cliffs in the background, right? So I type that, and then I can also change the resolution, which, as you can see, it will take longer for higher resolutions. And then you also can specify exactly how much of a remix it is. So if it's a subtle, mild, or strong remix, which dictates basically how much it's willing to change the results from the original. And then you can even dial that in on a slider from 1 to 8 if you want to.
The fact that this is going to be out to the public is going to be absolutely insane.
I think adding golf course would be nice, but I want to keep those cliffs and the house, so it's a mild change, right? Click remix, wait a bit, and then boom, you have the new creation, a fresh new artificially generated video with that same house and those same.
And look at this golf course that's been added to the back. They added sand traps, like a wow. Granted, I don't know. I think it starts the golf course over here, but that's crazy.
Same cliffs, but now 1080p and with a golf course in the background. Wild. I've found that 360p videos take actually very little time to generate. I do not want to use the word create here. These are artificially generated from source material. But basically, like a 5-second 360p video will generally take like less than 20 seconds to generate. And they're being generated on OpenAI.
And I think that distinction between creation and generation will be key going forward, because even I said it's going to generate you a lot of, maybe even create, did I say create, but generate a lot of different experiences for you by a tailored person. Or you're going to want to go to the MKHBs of this AI Sora world for that experience.
Server. So it has nothing to do with the speed of my computer or even my internet connection. Once I send off the prompt, it just takes that time, and then when it's done, it shows up and I can download it if I want to. And then something like a 1080p 10-second video it looks significantly better, but it also takes much longer. It can take a couple of minutes for a really detailed prompt and attention.
If you think about it, a couple minutes, that's the worst it's gonna be. But a couple minutes for a crazy 1080p AI generated image of really whatever you need. Movies, games, it's about to get freaky.
1080p video. And that's also
What's up,
like
Jay?
right now when almost no one else is using it. I kind of wonder how much longer it'll take when this is just open for anyone to use, but that's roughly how long they've taken. And there's also the storyboard feature, which kind of looks and acts like an online video editor where you can string together several prompts, and it works best for stringing together several different actions in a row.
Yo, I kind of want to just create a whole like Instagram account or something like this, or like a YouTube Shorts account, and just create stuff off this, and like maybe do some like positive motivation stuff. Like what the heck?
Basically, I've noticed it's hard to get a video to do several different things in succession with a single prompt, but you can use their built-in editor to string several prompts together in a row, and then Storyboard can help you blend them all together into one longer video, and that actually can work better instead. So I've been playing with this all week, and I've been throwing dozens and dozens and dozens of prompts at it with all sorts of characters, different styles, different unique things in the video. And so here are some observations that may surprise you, or maybe not. So one, it seems like there is no object permanence. So, we had AI generated images, right? And they've
This is what you're talking about, like one video that strings to another, da 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 da. That's patch 0. I think this gets patched out sooner than later.
you've seen the arc of them getting better and better and higher resolution and realistic over time. Now that we're doing videos, basically they're stringing together a bunch of different AI generated photos in a row with some sort of continuity. But for a video to make sense to a human, the objects kind of have to move in certain ways and behave in certain ways in the real world. And so one of the most common dead giveaways from a flaw of an AI generated video, especially with this tool, is just errors in object permanence. So you'll see things like objects passing in front of each other or behind each other in ways that don't make sense. You'll see stuff disappear or reappear out of thin air, especially if objects pass in front of them. But even sometimes without any real reason at all, they can also just materialize and then vanish, like the smartphone in this imaginary tech reviewer's hands.
You're at your last job, it's going nowhere.
Boop, just gone. And there's also another one that's really common. Anytime something with legs has to walk,
It looks weird.
If you just watch the legs for long enough, they almost guaranteed will mess up which leg is the front leg and which is the back. Just look at this one. Just try to watch one of the legs. And you'll see it happens. It switches back and forth from the front leg to the back leg. I mean, this is
the worst it's gonna get though. Already, a few years ago. It was so much worse than this, and now look at it. It's eventually the systems will learn, and it will get better, and it will become indistinguishable between our reality. It's gonna get insane.
Super common. It happens all the time in these. And that brings me to another one of my biggest observations, which is it just struggles with physics in general, the way things move.
Physics is indeed hard.
Which actually makes perfect sense because physics would seem to require some understanding of what you're making a video about.
And also the rules and the reality of the reality that we're currently in. If we're in the Marvel's universe, that AI system got to understand we live in 616 and you got to abide by the 616 rules of the laws, reality, gravitation, and all that shit.
The same way that large language models can struggle with hallucinations or putting together sentences that are technically incorrect or don't quite make sense, these video models will also struggle with putting together videos where the movement of the objects, since it doesn't know that they're objects, sometimes also doesn't really make sense. Pretty much any time I try anything remotely photorealistic, basically you instantly notice that the movements don't look right. Like it tends to look kind of slow motion-y actually, but then other parts won't be in slow motion, which our eye picks up on right away. I was playing with making like CCTV style footage because in my head, that's going to be the easiest thing to fake. People are going to get their hands on this. They're going to fake security camera footage all the time. But even in this,
that's instantly where his mind goes to, huh?
You can see the movement of the humans is just slightly off. Like first it's a little slow,
Yeah,
then it's
this is
fast for no
weird.
reason. It's
Going
just
through the
weird.
desk.
Now it seems to be decent sometimes at fluid dynamics for whatever reason. Like I've been very impressed with some examples of water rippling
Wow.
or crashing in waves or moving in realistic ways. It does happen sometimes. It can be actually pretty good looking. And same thing also with fire. Sometimes it can look pretty realistic, even if the smoke isn't. But yeah, physics in general is definitely a weakness. So
Yeah, physics is hard.
then, if you know this, you can mess more with claymation or cartoon style, and then those irregularities in movement or physics become a lot easier to palette because
Imagine the anime. The animes that you don't have to worry about like crazy animators taking forever to do a project. You could just do a whole project now over a weekend. Now we can go ahead and get Jujutsu Kaisen already out there and animated. We don't have to wait until I'm 50 years old for it to be finished and animated.
it feels more like a stylistic choice or an artistic choice. But I'll get to the stuff that it actually does really well in a second. But there is another feature that you might have seen around the internet a little bit with some other tools like this that takes a source image and can turn it into a video with a prompt. So people have been
That's
bringing
crazy.
memes to life and imagining what would happen right after
I've seen this. I've seen this.
some iconic image just by typing into the AI video generator and asking Sora what it would look like, and Sora can do that too. The difference with Sora, I've found, is it's way less likely to try anything that it recognizes as having any copyrighted or intellectual property whatsoever. It's pretty picky. It actually does reject a lot of stuff. Anything with any public figures or recognizing
Like
characters
shapes or
in
whatnot.
general or logos, it actually, yeah, refuses to do it.
Nice, nice. So there are some guidelines.
It will also refuse if it thinks any subject you upload in the image is under 18 years old. Makes sense. But I did upload this AI generated image, which Dolly made, and asked it to make them all singing and dancing and hit generate, and it totally did it. Again, it helps a lot that they're cartoon
Whoa.
styled and not some
You can upload a manga panel and say, "Yo, animate the Sukuna and Gojo fight,"
super realistic scene, but
and
this
it
is
and it puts out this.
a
Yo,
totally AI generated video.
you can see that it's messed up down here a little bit, but like you can go in and post production and like fine tune a lot of this.
I also tried a few other images from my camera roll, and it just gets weird. It just doesn't know the context of what direction any object was moving in the photo. Again, it doesn't know physics, and so things just get really wonky. It's impressive that it's AI generated video, but you can tell pretty quickly that it's AI
The fuck?
generated video. So, all that being said, we've seen what it's good at, we've seen what it's not so good at, and you might be wondering like what is this tool actually for?
Oh yes.
And I actually found a few things that are not so scary that are actually pretty good at. So these are the things that I found as of right now that Sora can be used for. Abstracts. So you can be as descriptive as you want and create all sorts of textures
So you're telling me all of the music videos and the visuals at like EDM festivals are about to go off the charts?
and colors and gradients to make an abstract shape move around in a way that essentially
That's what
looks
I'm
like
saying.
it could be a screensaver or just some background piece or whatever you want.
That looks gross.
I'm sure there's a world where someone's gonna make an NFT out of this stuff, also totally weird, but you can do abstract stuff, for sure. I noticed it's getting better at reproducing text,
Yeah, this is not spelt wrong at all. Normally, when you ask ChatGPT to like create a logo with text in it, it's ass.
especially when you ask it for specific text. So there are sometimes background garbled text in these videos,
Flog, travel advisor tees, Kara no news.
and that's going to continue to happen. But I found that if I asked it for an individual title slide in a style, it actually could give me the correct text on that slide. This animation it gave me of sketching the Empire State Building, this would make a killer title slide or even an intro to a documentary about,
Literally.
the building or Manhattan or something like that. I was very impressed. And then stop
Logie.
motion or, cartoon style characters. Again, like I said before, cartoons don't necessarily have to have realistic movements or physics. So the errors in those things don't hit the eye as much.
I
And so
already
the
have a video
characters
on it.
still look like, dare I say, art. They're characters, especially in scenes like this one. The graffiti doesn't have to actually say real words for this to look normal. Like the bear doesn't have to have the correct number of fingers or toes. It just looks like some album art come to life, basically,
Yeah.
which I'm sure someone would find useful on social media somewhere. And while we're at it, here's a couple other random prompts that impress me. I asked for Santa.
Told you. Told you. We're gonna get some crazy, crazy video game shit. Let me move out of the way of this so we could see. This is insane.
Fighting Frosty the Snowman in the style of Mortal Kombat. And it built a readable scoreboard. I didn't ask for the scoreboard, but it built all that with the names and everything, which is pretty crazy.
The time's not
Immediately,
right.
again, the details are weird when you start looking at it, but this could be a good inspirational starting point. And then I also
This is awesome
asked for a video
and terrifying.
of a tech reviewer sitting at a desk, and I said nothing about this fake plant. But Sora took the liberty of adding this exact fake plant here, which I said nothing about in my prompt. And that is a convenient reminder of the other side
What? Are we living in the Matrix? Just like how we started this video, or ending it like this?
of the tools like this, the unknown behind a lot of the tools. I mean, clearly, we already know that these are AI-generated videos that have to come from some source material. Are my videos in that source material? Is this exact plant part of the source material? Is it just a
Yes. Yes, it is.
coincidence?
No, we're all in the Matrix.
I don't know. OpenAI has talked about using publicly available media and data, and it's always, to me, been a kind of a sketchy definition. We don't know if it's everything. We don't know if it's too late to opt out, if we wanted to opt out. And also, I have no idea how much energy this uses, or if it is significantly more than the LLMs or DALL-E were using. But still, the craziest part of all of this is the fact that this tool, Sora, is going to be available to the public, I guess around the time of this video publish, to everyone, to millions of people, all at once. And
Oh my god, this is terrifying. Do we try to go out there and try to use Sora?
I mean, yes,
Do I try to use Sora?
it does a pretty good job with its guardrails of refusing to do anything photorealistic, refusing to use actual people's likenesses or any dangerous or harmful acts. And yes, it does watermark every single generated video with this little animation here in the
Sweet.
corner. But you can still crop watermarks, and it's still an extremely powerful tool that directly moves us further into the era of not being able to believe anything you see online. I mean, read through the comments on my laptop.
I know this is gonna sound crazy, and this is gonna be like an NFT bro, and it's like, oh my god, I knew he was an NFT bro, but hear me out. I think the only way we're gonna be able to validate anything going forward on the internet is literally through some type of like blockchain thing, to where we can go back and validate everything and make sure that it happened in the real world and validate it in the virtual world. Shit's gonna get so funky, y'all, if it's not already funky. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, then please like the video, subscribe, and if you really like it, then share it with some of your friends. My goal here is to spread a positive message while sprinkling my 2 cents on big topics like American, Indian, and world geopolitics, and even small stuff like Twitch drama and online debacles. And if you want to see it live, come join me over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/ActuallyElrod. That's where I'm going to do all my reactions, and after the reactions, that's where we get down a game. And if you're like, hey, I have a video that I want this dude to sprinkle his 2 cents on, then come over on my Discord and let me know and join the community there. And while we're at it, I have to say thank you to everybody who has made that Discord just so poppin'. I never thought I'd have a Discord that's so flowing. It's really cool to see. Shout out to you, Bobby, Omni, Demon, all of you who have been in there who are just super active. Logie, you're the man. Logie is the one who's like modding and helping run the server, so thank you, Logie. Lastly, I challenge you. I have a challenge for you. Make somebody laugh today. We all know there's enough hate and vitriol in the world. If energy is contagious like the flu, then let's spread and get everyone contagious with our positive energy, right? Not negative energy, because there's so much of that. And if we could just be a small little change in someone's day, then you never know. Maybe that's the thing that starts shifting this world to a happier, healthier, just better place. And with all that said and done, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.